Unaware of the danger approaching, Captain Todd maneuvered the rough waters off the shore of Simulia. The silence was broken abruptly by the distinct thud of grappling hooks striking the ship's side. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Armed and eager to loot, pirates hurried onto the ship. They had no idea that Captain Todd had an unexpected trick up his sleeve. When the pirates discovered the cargo they were seeking wasn't what it looked, their confidence started to wane as they continued to advance. Todd had spent a long time dreading this moment. He knew full well that his trade route passed through hazardous areas. Although he had firearms to protect himself, he didn't want this to become a shootout. The guys were drawing closer to the edge of his container ship, and time was running out. Todd needed to make a choice immediately. He had a sudden boost in self-assurance. He snatched up the microphone and sent a message via the ship's intercom. He insisted that all crew members report to the below-deck cafeteria. He also told them there were going to be pirates on board. He then abruptly stopped sailing and switched off the ship. Just as Todd had desired, it was now at the mercy of the water. The pirates boarded the container ship while the rest of the crew obeyed Captain Todd's orders and went to the cafeteria. There were 5 of them, plain, tattered-looking, with AK-47s in their hands. Although they didn't appear to be highly coordinated, it was obvious they had done this previously based on how they had gotten to the boat without being seen. The pirates, commanded by the self-styled Captain Jack, devised a strategy without delay. Their goal was to try to load this ship with the most precious commodities, small products that they could transfer and turn a profit on. In order to cover more territory while searching for crew members, the pirates made the decision to divide into pairs of 2 and 3. The pirates thought they had a good strategy, but they were unaware that Captain Todd had been observing them since they boarded the ship. Now that everything was set up, he could deal with the team of 2 first and then concentrate on the other 3 pirates. 2 of Todd's second-in-command had radioed him to lock down the rest of the team in the cafeteria and meet him in the control room. These pirates were about to take a serious hit. The boys hurriedly left the room to set up their trap. As the 2 pirates walked around the ship's deck, their level of anxiety was rising minute by minute. Nor could they comprehend why Captain Jack had ordered them to travel in unison. Both of them were new to this line of work and had never been on a ship anything close to this size before. In the ship's control room, Captain Todd and his second-in-command, the seasoned sailor Harris, swiftly sketched out a plan. Their eyes wandered over the ship's blueprint that was spread out on the table. Todd decided to take advantage of the intricate architecture of the ship and set up a trap in the cargo hold, where subtly magnified clattering noises would lure the unsuspecting. With their AK-47s securely gripped, the 2 anxious pirates, Ahmad and Yusef, scuttled outside, thinking the noise was the sound of crew members hiding. Their eyes widened in shock as they peered inside the package and saw the brand new sparkling iPhones there, a sharp contrast to the crude weapons they were holding. For a minute, the dazzling devices that promised a riches beyond their wildest expectations distracted them from their original objective, allowing greed to temporarily overcome prudence. Hearts racing, Todd and his group peered through a small opening to see the pirates hidden from view. Ahmad and Yusef found that the allure of the cell phones was too much. People started putting the gadgets in their pockets while nearly delirious, their thoughts muddled by images of riches. The pirates were too busy looting to notice the little changes occurring all around them. They were so engrossed in the sparkle of technology that they failed to notice the gentle click of a door closing behind them. Todd gave the all-clear in a quick, quiet gesture. The crate's doors suddenly slammed shut, and the hold echoed with the sound of locking bolts. Captured in the midst of their revelry, they found themselves imprisoned by their own avarice. This was an important first win. Todd called a meeting under the harsh fluorescent lights of the crew mess hall, desperation evident in his voice. He described what they would do next. Todd made his way back to the control room, determined to jam every communication gadget in the box. He was determined to keep Captain Jack in the dark and further away from them by keeping no news of their triumph reaching him. Todd, like a hawk circling its prey, kept his eyes focused on the surveillance cameras aboard the ship as he observed Captain Jack and the rest of his crew. Reassembling his team, Todd's voice was calm but forceful. "Be careful and remain out of sight. This is not over yet." Each member of the team gave a somber nod of agreement before slipping back into their hiding places and getting ready for the next task. Todd rushed for the radio in the quiet control room, speaking steadily and softly as he called the Coast Guard. His statements were succinct and gave a clear image of the danger on board the ship as he described their dreadful predicament with the composure of an experienced skipper. Todd ran through the situation over the static-filled phone call. Although 2 pirates were apprehended, Captain Jack and his armed men posed a greater threat to the ship. Todd realized that the problem was far from over, even though he had asked for assistance. His mind whirled with tactics as he watched the monitors non-stop, ready to strike at any time. Captain Jack, his brow knitted with suspicion, steered his remaining troops more cautiously along the ship's halls. It was concerning that Ahmad and Yusef were not there. Jack sensed something wasn't right because of their unusual stillness on the radio. Todd's brain was working non-stop to piece together a strategy that would eliminate the threat without putting his team in danger. Captain Jack became aggressive in the ship's reverberating hallways as his aggravation reached a boiling point. His voice reverberated across the ship's hallways. With a menacing tone, he said, "Come out or we'll find you." He was aware that his window of opportunity to keep control over the quickly destabilizing scenario was closing. Captain Todd made the snap decision to face Captain Jack by himself. He thought that taking a straight and isolated approach may diffuse the situation and prevent more bloodshed. The group exchanged anxious looks, and their features showed worry upon hearing Todd's idea. Rather of fighting Captain Jack, Todd planned to outwit him by arming himself with non-lethal weapons. A tense, nervous hush fell over the ship as Todd approached Jack's position. As Todd turned the corner, he saw Captain Jack and his troops. He walked into their line of sight, firm in his look and his pace. Todd talked in a cool, collected voice while being held at gunpoint. "I can lead you to the ship's most valuable cargo." His offer, tinged with a little bit of pretend subordination, was meant to buy them some time and bring their guard down. Still, his eyes were wide open, searching for any unexpected movement. Captain Jack's eyes furrowed as avarice and distrust battled within of him. Though his senses alerted him to the possibility of dishonesty, the prospect of big booty was alluring. He thought for a time in tension before nodding and accepting to accompany Todd, but he kept his rifle pointed on Todd, a tacit reminder of his persistent suspicion. Todd took the lead, navigating the ship's labyrinth of compartments. They reached an empty space, an apparently harmless location within the maze of stuff. Todd signaled his covert team in a way that the pirates couldn't see. Todd guided the pirates to a well-selected container that was bursting at the seams with sparkling jewels. The pirates' eyes brightened at the sight of the wealth. Todd observed them intently, waiting until 2 of them, drawn by the temptation, could no longer resist the rush and started frantically packing their bags. Captain Jack was distracted from the pirates' antics by another container that had been identified as holding expensive gadgets. Todd grabbed hold of the moment as he bent over to examine it. He shoved Captain Jack hard enough to send him flying into a hidden hole in the deck, where other crewmen were waiting to throw him to the ground. Todd's crew took immediate action when Captain Jack vanished into the trap. The remaining pirates were caught off surprise and had little chance of surviving against the well-organized group, who swiftly overpowered them. Every motion was deliberate and well-practiced. The team collaborated with one another without any problems. Their coordinated and well-trained motions speak for themselves. After only a few moments, they had the last pirate subdued and his arms safely behind his back. The Coast Guard cutter's silhouette could be seen on the horizon, slicing through the waves as it approached the ship. The crew let out a collective sigh of relief upon seeing the approaching cruiser. Todd led the Coast Guard to the pirates' holding area after they were boarded. The pirates were turned over one by one, Captain Jack among them, who remained stunned by the quick change of events. In sharp contrast to his prior anger and assurance, his face of astonishment and bewilderment was displayed. Todd and his crew were given a comprehensive debriefing by the Coast Guard officials. They nodded in recognition of the crew's bravery and resourcefulness as they listened closely to Todd's account of what happened. Their expressions of appreciation reverberated throughout the ship. praising the crew for their bravery and the vital part they played in preventing an impending catastrophe. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.